The path to true success is achieved through determination.
With the goal!
Determination to grow, to push through, and to finish.
And there's the championship.
Utah Valley student athletes strive for these qualities.
Out of here!
UVU student athletes need your support from the community, their peers, and their families to achieve this growth and success in life.
Has an opportunity laid down, and there it is!
A dive into third base.
Support from donors like you makes a significant impact on the lives of more than 370 Wolverines student athletes. The General Athletic Scholarship Fund will help our student athletes be successful in the classroom, on the field, and in life. Please support our student athletes with a personal donation and watch these men and women grow now and in the future.
Who am I? And furthermore, what do I want? What makes you itch? That's the most important investigation anyone can make. But you don't find this out until you investigate it. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Because if you say that money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. Forget the money. After all, if you do really like what you're doing, you can eventually become a master of it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. Therefore, it's so important to consider this question. What do I desire?
Smooth sailing.
More traffic.
Great looking ahead.
More weather.
New details are emerging.
More breaking news. Whenever, wherever.
That's good news.
More ways to know before you go.
You're gonna like the morning commute.
On KSL Today, weekday mornings on KSL 5. Experienced? Check. Accurate? Check. The team more Utahns trust to stay safe from winter weather surprises? Check, 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 and check. Know before you go. Check with the KSL 5 weather specialists.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
UCCU is both a credit union and a full-service mortgage company.
Which means that UCCU always provides the lowest rates and lower insurance premiums than other lenders. When your mortgage rate and insurance premium are lower, your monthly payment is also lower. It's just science. That's more money you can put into your home.
Or back into your pocket.
So if you're thinking about buying or refinancing a home, talk to us.
The credit union that's been putting people over profits for over 60 years.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University for tonight's matchup between the visiting Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona University and the home team, the Utah Valley Wolverines. Hello, everybody. Alongside my main man, Holton Hunsaker, I'm Brandon Crow. Thank you for letting us be a part of your evening here on the Watch Israel Network. Holton, it's our first time together this season. Utah Valley has had some bumps and some bruises along the way, but they have a very athletic team in Northern Arizona coming into the town. What are you expecting from Utah Valley tonight?
Well, it's been a rough road for a reason. They've played a tough schedule. The last 4 games obviously have not gone their way, but they're going to look to try to get it back on track against, as you mentioned, a very athletic, a very long Northern Arizona team.
Breaking down the starters for you. Starting lineups for Northern Arizona: Cameron Shelton, Chris Bowling, Ted McCree, Nick Maines, and Brooks DeBishop. And the starting 5 for Coach Mark Madsen and Utah Valley Wolverines: TJ Washington, Brandon Averett, Kazan Jardine, Trey Woodbury, and Eman Olajupoki. Eman Olajupoki, he's one of the top shot blockers in the country, Holton. Earlier this week, just halfway through the week or so, Olajupoki was putting up some stellar numbers. He has 33 block shots on the season, tying him for 6th nationally and tied for 12th in blocks per game. Game on between the Wolverines and the Lumberjacks. Utah Valley in their home whites and greens. Northern Arizona in their blue and yellows. And there's a early foul against the Lumberjacks. Looks like this one's going to go against Chris Bowling. That'll be his first.
Wolverines do work a lot of their offense out of Trey Woodbury. As you saw, he kind of got that catch just outside the block, and he can do it from the block and on the perimeter. Very difficult to defend.
Trey Woodbury had a slow start to the season, but the last 3 games has started to heat up for the Wolverines offensively. And they're going to call travel. It's a beautiful spin move there by Woodbury, but that won't be the last time we see some of that skill tonight.
I think he would have got away with it if those green shoes weren't so vibrant tonight.
That's true. Everybody else on his team's got the whites. I got my own green shoes on, but those are Vans, a lot different than those Adidas. Northern Arizona with a lot of length, a lot of speed and agility from Coach Bertar's squad. As we see right there, speed and agility in the paint. Nice shake and bake move in the post by Nick Maines. That's been kind of an Achilles heel for this Utah Valley team. Without a real designated big like they've had in the past, but they've been able to manage so far this season. Averett comes around, a defender. 12 seconds, gives it to Kazan Jardine. Pop, rims off the corner. Kazan Jardine had a shot altered in midair.
Yeah, and your point about not having much big or size, it kind of doesn't fit with your comment about how well E-Man blocks shots, right?
It's crazy, right?
But it's not necessarily blocking shots. They just need, and what they're missing is a physical presence. There's no one as someone cuts to the lane that's going to block or hit them or knock them off their cuts, as we get a long 3 miss there by number 22. That was from Brooks. But that's really what the Wolverines have missed, just some physical presence as Trey Woodbury is going to get the and one on the opposite side.
So that foul goes against Brooks DeBishop. The Trey Woodbury starting things off for the Wolverines with an and one opportunity. Trey Woodbury on the season averaging 10 points. As that free throw is good. About 4 rebounds and 1 assist. The man from Las Vegas. DeBishop on the perimeter. And a spin move, and a foul is called against Woodbury. And McCree will go to the line.
That's the second time 2 different players that have tried to play with their back to the basket against Trey. As we mentioned, Northern Arizona's size. Trey, not a small size 3-man, but with number 34 and 15 out there for Northern Arizona, he gives up just a little bit of size and length that they can take him down to the block.
Ted McCree makes his first free throw. McCree, the pride of Detroit, Michigan, coming to NAU via Gillette College. Makes both free throws. 4-3 Lumberjacks on top of the Wolverines early on here in the first half. Again, Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for letting us be a part of your Saturday evening here on the WAC Digital Network and KSL streaming app as well. Averett behind it back. Stops, pops, and that's good. And if Brandon Avery can make shots like that, it's going to be a lot easier for this Utah Valley offense to get in rhythm.
We've seen what TJ's done all season, and he just needs someone to complement him. Not that Brandon hasn't had his moments, but just consistent scoring from him as he picks up his steal there. Going the other way, you can obviously see his speed and athleticism.
And TJ Washington steps out of play, but that's exactly the type of play from Brandon Avery that Coach Mark Madsen's been encouraging all season long. Very crafty, very shifty. Avery, the transfer from Oklahoma State, had to sit out last year to the NCAA transfer rules. Inlet pass, finally kicked out. McCree from the elbow, no good, and Woodbury gets the rebound. TJ Washington now for the Wolverines. Washington has 2 defenders on him, goes back to Trey Woodbury, steps into a 3. That one rims off. Olajuwon and Cassie Jardine. We'll see who that goes to. But they both touched it and went in. They're going to give that to Olajuwon, E-Man, Olajuwon. Bowling. Nice mid-range jumper. That one misses. TJ Washington with the rebound. Utah Valley on top, 7-4. Washington to Trey Woodbury. Kaz and Jardine. Jardine has it again, gives off to TJ Washington. Washington going to penetrate, give out Eman Olajuwon with the contact and the finish.
He's just
strong.
So quick off the ground. Takes that little bunny hop to get himself balanced, and then like a spring, he's up out of that stance.
9-4 Wolverine lead. Less than 16 to play here in the first. This is Utah Valley's first trip home after having the last 4 of 5 on the road. And they get a turnover. And that'll take us to our media timeout. Utah Valley on top with 15:40 left to go in the first half. 9-4 Wolverines lead.
KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Yes, the Holton Hunsaker. Utah Valley on top 9-4 early on in this contest. We mentioned right before the break, Holton, this is Utah Valley's first home game after playing the last 5 on the road. 4 of the last 5 on the road, excuse me. The Wolverines have played 6 of their last 8 games on the road. They've traveled nearly 9,000 miles so far on the season. That's crazy.
It's a lot of miles, especially when you're trying to juggle not only basketball and your energy, but teachers want you to stay up on classwork too, right? And
it's true.
Being away from family and everything else, it's hard for these young guys to balance and stay focused and disciplined on everything they've got to take care of. I'm sure they're excited to be back home and get at least this home game before headed to Wyoming and Long Beach. But Wolverines got a little bit of a stretch here of fighting on the road, and that's always tough to do, especially early on in the season.
Well, this past week was finals week, and so they finished up finals, so that had to be some relief. But on the other end, here come the Lumberjacks, and the Lumberjack boots a little bit too heavy with the travel violation on the other side there from McCree.
That was well done.
It's always difficult when you get that wide open look in transition, little happy feet.
Yep. Exactly. You're so wide open, you feel like you can take all the time in the world, and that extra time resulted in an extra step.
An alley-oop missed there by Olajuwon. And quickly, the Lumberjacks are back out. To Bishop. And Statterwhite gets his pocket picked. Averett. Numbers for Utah Valley. Washington to cutting Trey Woodbury. Who I thought he was going for the dunk. It might have slipped, but it went in anyway. Still counts for 2 nonetheless.
I know that feeling.
Well, that makes one of us. I could barely touch the net.
I wish. That was anybody that knows that was a lie.
Utah Valley now on an 8-0 run in the last 3 minutes. 11-4 lead for the Wolverines. Big man puts it on the floor to Bishop, going with the left hand, misses. Jardine for Utah Valley with the rebound. Nice cross-court bounce pass from Washington to Averett. Averett going to take his defender. Nice bounce pass to Olajupoki. Misses the teardrop, grabs his rebound, poked away. All on the floor now. Hustle play. Lumberjacks come away with it. And a three-pointer, which misses. Washington with the rebound is going to slow it up, wait for his team. And we have a full-on hockey line change set to come in for the Wolverines, including Isaiah White. And a step-back three-pointer is no good. Utah Valley foul away from the ball. Ege Havza, J.J. Overton, and Isaiah White check in. And I think Brandon Morley is going to check in as well. So a full new look for the Wolverines. Isaiah White's first match in over a month.
Great to see him back on the court. Obviously, he's got the knee brace on, and that's why he missed those games. But he's the one that can bring that physicality that we mentioned to the team. As you'll see, he'll make his impact early. He's an athletic hustle guy. He's not afraid to mix it up a little bit, and so he'll be a big impact here for the Wolverines.
And right out of the substitution, they're going to attack the mismatch, the Lumberjacks, and they go right at Ege Havza. Nice pass to Isaiah White from Averett. Now back to Averett again. Averett on the floor, cuts and turns. Dutch Isaiah White going for the for the finish, gets fouled in the process. What I thought at least, but blocked. Lumberjacks in transition, and they're going to call a travel.
Same thing. I think just on that gather, he took one little extra step, and nice play defensively on the other end. As number 20, I believe, Cameron Shelton got a hand on that ball, or could have been hand on the arm there as well on Isaiah White.
But I like the inclusion. Isaiah White has missed over a month, and right away, first offensive possession, his teammates trying to look at him to get him involved. J.J. Overton now with it. J.J. drives, and he gets called for a travel. So I know it's snowy outside. I don't know if these players have brought that ice inside the arena or what, but everybody's slipping out there. Cameron Satterwhite, the transfer from Loyola Chicago, played in the Final Four with that amazing Cinderella story a couple years ago with this school. Wanted to come home, wanted for a fresh start after a couple seasons didn't pan out like he thought they would. And he is somebody, as he steps into it and makes it with the bank shot, but he's somebody that Coach Burkar is leaning on. And Coach Burkar said he has energy and he is a game changer, end quote. So we'll see how Satterwhite does for the Lumberjacks. Already a quick 2 points, but now Brandon Averett and Utah Valley trying to respond on the other side. Ege Havza. J.J. Overton. Overton slices and dices his way. 7 on the clock. Now Isaiah White with the Euro step. Creates a space and gets fouled in the process. Looks like that foul is going to go against Bernie Andre.
It's the second time Isaiah White's really pushed the issue to try to get into the paint, something I like to see because usually coming off an injury, you're a little hesitant trying to get to the rim.
And that'll take us to our other media timeout. Utah Valley on top by 3, 11-8 here on the WAC Digital Network.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent.
Glad you're okay, Sarah. We'll take care of everything.
And the company that stands behind them.
Thanks so much for your help.
No problem.
Auto Owners Insurance.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
The UVU cheer squad continuing to keep this crowd alive. Utah Valley on top 11-8 here at the UCCU Center. Again, thank you for letting us be a part of your Saturday evening here. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Right now on the floor for the Wolverines, Brandon Averett, Ege Hamza, J.J. Overton, Isaiah White, and Brandon Morley. Isaiah White will be shooting a pair of free throws. His first minutes of action in over a month for the Wolverines. And for the Lumberjacks, coming out of that timeout, Satterwhite, Andre, Avdalovich, as Isaiah White makes the first free throw. Lewis and Shelton. And White makes both. So somebody that hasn't played full action in a month, Holton comes out. Teammates try to get him involved early. Hasn't made a field goal yet, but 2 quick free throws. That can help get your confidence up there.
Yeah, just make you comfortable again being out on the court. And his leadership, again, someone carried over from last year's program, and obviously from his JUCO days at Salt Lake Community College and a lot of success there. Team looks for him for his leadership.
Lewis with the bucket on the other hand. Brandon Morley posting up. Spin move with the left hand, no good. This one rebounded by Isaiah White. Isaiah White with the spin move, draws contact. Morley there with the rebound and the putback. Brandon Morley with the unofficial assist, I guess, from Isaiah White.
And that's what Isaiah White does. It just becomes contagious, right? He gets one offensive rebound. Morley sticks around, picks up another one, and it just lifts the whole team.
Utah Valley on top, 15-10 now in transition. Ege Hamza going baseline, pulls it back. This one gets by Brandon Averett. Brandon Morley there to pick it up. Back into Averett's hands. Now J.J. Overton with 15 on the shot clock. Kicks it back to Isaiah White for the corner three. That one rims off, no good. Rebounded by Satterwhite. Here come the Lumberjacks of NAU. Satterwhite with that length and athleticism, crossing over. Gives it to Bishop. Bishop looking for help. 20 on the clock. Shelton now with the drives left. Shelton cutting. Dishes to big man in the middle. And a foul is called.
I think they're going to get Isaiah White on this one just to try to, I think give this one for Brandon Avery. Maybe he got him from behind. I thought it was initially on Isaiah as he tried to stand the contact there on the drive.
Satterwhite and Andre will step off. McCree checks back in. Along with Boley and McCree right out of the gate. Comes up short. Isaiah White with the rebound for Utah Valley. Averett slowing it up. Presses back with the up and under. No good. Isaiah White in the mix. Instead, here come the Lumberjacks with the rebound. That's a nice ball movement there by the Lumberjacks. And a layup by Isaiah Lewis. 15-12. Lumberjacks aren't going anywhere. They're sticking around. And we'll stick around here too.
Coach Madsen with a quick timeout just to not allow any runs to get going out of this Northern Arizona team who had struggled the last few possessions to do anything offensively.
Right now, Holton, Utah Valley is one of their last 7 offensively on the floor. Now throw that in there with a couple free throws from Isaiah White, and that's been the offense the last 2.5, 3 minutes for Utah Valley.
You know, surprisingly, kind of going against what basketball has became, which was layups and three-point shots. We've only had, as of that last timeout, 3 three-point shots attempted for the ball game. None made, which not used to the style of basketball where we're used to turning on the TV and seeing. And so a low-scoring ball game here so far, one that's just been a grinded-out kind of execution game on the offensive end.
White inbounds to Hamza. Utah Valley up 15-12. Give and go. Isaiah White in the paint. Isaiah White can't control it. Now here comes McCree and the Lumberjacks. Less than 10 to play. Very close to a backcourt there by McCree. McCree with it now on the floor. Can't get around Washington. Gives back to Lewis. Lewis, leading point scorer on the floor for the Lumberjacks with 4. Dishes out, corner shot. This one's good by the Lumberjacks. Chris Bowling. And some sauce from the corner.
I was hoping you were going to say with a strike on that one after Chris Bowling. You've been so quick on him all night. I was hoping you were going to go with the strike after that last night.
I was saving that one for you. Here come the Lumberjacks. And a nice easy layup for Shelton. And just like that, the Lumberjacks have taken the lead 17-15 here in the UCCU Center. Good ball movement by the Wolverines in response. Isaiah White drives and cuts, and he gets it to fall. And that's what Isaiah White can do for you.
Yep, he's living around the rim right now, either on the offensive glass and attacking that rim, putting a lot of pressure on the Lumberjacks around the paint, which is only going to open things up as it continues to wear him down.
Nice strip there by TJ Washington. Now J.J. Overton with it. That last bucket by Isaiah White snapped a 7-0 run by the Lumberjacks. So now Utah Valley trying to retake the lead, tied up 17 apiece. Washington gives way. Now back again. Ege Havza with the man in his face. That one comes up short. Big rebound there by Bowling. About 8 minutes to go in the first frame. Trey Woodbury set to come back in for the Wolverines. Coach Madsen thinking about some strategy here. Now the Lumberjacks trying to strategize on the floor. 8 on the clock. This one no good. Ball bouncing around like a popcorn. Here comes Isaiah White. Isaiah White going 1v1, shakes his defender. Doesn't get it to fall, grabs his own rebound, puts it right back up and in. That's the working man's two-pointer right there.
Again, if you can't get fired up as a teammate out of the effort he's given right now.
Utah Valley on top 19-17. Everybody's seeing Isaiah White in that flashy early 2000s boy band type hair. Is excited. Lewis with the kick out. Bowling. That one comes up short. Nice pass to Havza from Washington. Havza no look. Back to Washington. Washington with the drive. Kick out to Isaiah White. Some showtime moves for Utah Valley. Isaiah White with the exclamation point.
Again, that's just what they haven't had. Anybody with explosion around the rim. And he's continued to attack that paint and get a quick jump shot. Nice little 15-footer there by Lewis.
A little bit of a hush on the crowd after that excitement there from Lewis. Washington again kicking out to big-time J.J. Overton in the corner. That one comes up short. Cameron Shelton looking back at his coach. Gets the play call. 6:20 left to play in the first half. 21-19 Wolverines on top of the Lumberjacks. Bowling again this time. And there's a strike. There you go, Holden.
I don't know all the terminology. I know 3 in a row is a turkey, so he's got 2 right now.
22-21, Lumberjacks retake the lead on Bowling's three-pointer. His second in the last 3 minutes. Washington trying to respond. This one way off. Overton gets the rebound. Back to Isaiah White. Isaiah White blocked from behind. Morley gets his big paws in there. Overton drives, loses control. And the Lumberjacks get it. I think there was some confusion. Half the Lumberjacks stopped because they thought that there was a whistle called, including the head coach. There's McCree from the corner. This one comes up short. Overton skies up for the rebound. And a little bit of a slower pace now being called by Coach Madsen and the Wolverines. Trailing 21-22, 5:23 left in the first. Overton now to White. White had three defenders on him. Finally, cross-court pass to Washington. Washington. That one looks like the mustard fell off the hot dog on that one. So media timeout will take it with 5:04 left in the first half. Utah Valley trails 21-22. We'll be right back from Orem, Utah after this.
I came to college to play my sport, but more importantly, to earn a degree.
I'm constantly learning from those around me, my professors and peers, my coaches and teammates, and even my opponents.
There's nothing better than game day, battling side by side with my teammates.
The competition is what pushes me to be the best that I can be.
I take pride in my community and want to ensure that I am giving back and inspiring the next generation to do the same.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
So say it to my face.
You don't know me. You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes.
That's who we are.
Well, if you have an appetite right now, we got breakfast going on the court. Bacon's trying to make a shot, and he just got the pass from an egg. And there's a cookie running around somewhere. Got to love college athletics. Utah Valley on top of Northern Arizona. Trailing. Seeing too much food out there. It's throwing me off. Northern Arizona on top of Utah Valley. 22-21, 5:04 left to play in the first half. And right now, for me, Holton, Isaiah White has been the X factor. He leads Utah Valley with 8 points, 3 of 9 from the floor. But it's that energy, that excitement, that athleticism that he brings. It takes pressure off of T.J. Washington, where T.J. Washington can kind of relax and float back into the number 2 role offensively, which I feel like is more of his natural spot.
Yeah, I think it gives him an opportunity to, again, not be looking to score every time as we get a lob attempt there by Northern Arizona. But going back to the T.J. Washington-Isaiah White relationship, again, it gives T.J. to not only be a creator for himself, but he draws so much attention and is so creative passing-wise that he can make a lot of open opportunities for his teammates. His E-man gets a nice little jump hook-like shot there in the lane.
Going straight up in the air and straight down in the hoop. 23-22, Wolverines on top. Maines checks back into the game. Maines now with 14. Gives back to Shelton. And a big carry. Again, this happened the last time Utah Valley played at home against Weber State. You gotta remember these, Holton, because you don't see those called in the NBA at all.
What is a carry anymore, right? I think early on, I don't know if we had an offensive foul call or a T.J. Washington travel call and a step back there on that left wing. You know, the travel call and the carries are so difficult for officials because guys are so creative now with what they do with the basketball. And they can sometimes take such long, extended dribbles that you don't know when they're picking it up, when they're not. And you get Jardine with,
That one went about as far down as it could before popping right back out. Satterwhite. Now McCree. Satterwhite back with it again. Satterwhite, pull-up jump shot. That's pretty. Since that baseline jumper with the swish. 24-22. Jardine, now Averett for the Wolverines. They trail by 1. 3:34 left to play. Jardine gets the contact. And it looks like E-Man, his own teammate, is holding his face. Holding his eye, it looks like here.
I think Jardine just kind of not knowing where he was compared to where E-Man was, coming to try to clean up the offensive rebound. Just may have poked him right in the eye.
We'll take a break. Timeout on the floor. Utah Valley trails 23-24.
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
You only need to answer one question.
Will you accept the challenge to become? It doesn't matter your situation in life.
No matter your interest.
Whether your first choice our second chance.
There's a place for you.
Place for you. Place for you at UVU. Place to engage, to rise, to succeed.
To become.
When you know before you go how the latest breaking news, traffic, and weather will affect you, that equals a good morning. Wake up with the news specialists on KSL Today. Weekdays from 4:30 to 7.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center on the WAC Digital Network, KSL streaming app. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Wolverines trailing the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona 23-24 with about 3:32 left in the first half. For those of you just now joining us, Utah Valley's Isaiah White, first game back in over a month. Right now leading all Wolverines with 8 points. On the other side for Northern Arizona, Chris Bowling with 6. Those 6 points coming from 2 3-pointers. Isaiah Lewis, all perfect. 3 of 3 from the floor. And a handful of others at 4 points with Satterwhite and Maines for the Lumberjacks. Kazan Jardine got fouled before a layup attempt, right before the timeout. He makes the first free throw. Kazan Jardine from Twin Falls, Idaho, averaging about 11 points and 5 rebounds on the season so far, misses the second. Knotted up at 24 apiece with 3:30 left to play in the first half. Satterwhite passes half court. Now Maines going to Satterwhite. And Brandon Averett's going to fall backwards. And we'll see what the official call is here. And they're going to call a foul on Averett. And that's his second personal foul.
That's also kind of been a new emphasis, right, is the flopping. Like, officials do now, they even have a flop warning call that they've came out with now, where if you get one flop warning and one more, I guess, you got a technical foul call. And that one, I thought Brandon Averett was going to be able to get going the other way, but maybe the official didn't want to call it just because of the emphasis on flopping so much.
Satterwhite to McCree. McCree with the quick trigger. Comes up short, Trey Woodbury. Now outlet to Havza. Havza in transition for the Wolverines. TJ Washington pestered by Satterwhite. Now Woodbury with it. Washington again to Havza. Havza, a lot of speed. Nice dish to Olajupoki. Olajupoki can't control it, however, goes out of play. With Havza being from Europe, those European style of play basketball, you always have to keep your head on a swivel if you don't have the ball, because they're just going to do exactly what he did.
And sometimes he can get himself in trouble, right? Because he had a wide open layup right there in front of the rim that seemed like it should have been a little floater or teardrop for Hobbs right in the middle, and shot block there going the other way.
Olajupoki doing what he does best. Again, like we said, one of the nation's leaders. That's his 34th block on the season. TJ Washington drives, switches in midair, can't get there. Now the Lumberjacks trying to retake the lead. Still tied up 24 apiece. Wide open down low is Nick Maines. And Satterwhite, fastball. Too much for the big fella. That one goes out of play.
It's been tough on the turnovers for both sides in this first half, as both teams trying to seem to get in any type of rhythm offensively. Wolverines with 8 turnovers, and Northern Arizona already with 9 in this game.
Utah Valley has not scored a field goal in the last 2.5 minutes, trying to break that drought. 2 minutes left to play in the first half. 16 on the shot clock. Havza, Woodbury, inlet to Olajupoki. Olajupoki gets it poked away from him. Satterwhite now with it for the Lumberjacks. McCree. Satterwhite going to pull the trigger from distance, and that one rolls through. Satterwhite getting pumped up with the largest lead so far, 27-24 for the Lumberjacks. 1:35 to play in the first half. Wolverines trying to respond. TJ Washington trying to go back to Olajupoki. This one took it away. Satterwhite gets Kazan Jardine. And that one last touched off of Northern Arizona. It'd be Utah Valley basketball.
Let's go Utah Valley.
But you can see what Coach Burkar was meaning when he said the Satterwhite was a game changer. And he's a big factor in their defense and in their offensive scheme. Again, this is a guy who won the Arizona State Slam Dunk Championship as a junior before tearing his ACL. So he missed his whole senior season.
Wow.
And then went on to play D1 basketball. And so who knows what he could have been, and that's what he's trying to prove. He says he has a chip on his shoulder, and right now he has a 27-24 lead over the hometown Wolverines. Jardine steps into a three, and that one rims out. So a minute exactly to play here in the first half. Satterwhite with it.
Wolverines 0 of 7 from that three-point line, and that's kind of been the change in these last 6 or 7 minutes of this first half, where Northern Arizona has been able to knock down 3 three-pointers of their own.
Good defense by the Wolverines. That one last touched off of Utah Valley. We're going to have a timeout. Northern Arizona. So the Lumberjacks with a 27-24 lead in 42.5 seconds, 13 on the shot clock. Holton, you have a three-point lead. You feel like this offensive momentum is in your direction with Utah Valley only having 1 of 7 from the floor in the last 2.5 minutes here. So what are you saying if you're Coach Burkar coming out of this timeout here?
There's no rush, right? I mean, they have 13 seconds on the shot clock, and so they got to get into their offense fairly quick, but they're going to be extremely picky here. I don't know if they'll go for a 2-for-1 type situation. Maybe they'll try to get a quick three-point shot or something to the rim and try to get the last possession going into this first half. But if I was them, 3-point lead, the momentum's kind of going their way. You can feel the energy also from the Wolverine team kind of deflating in the past 2 or 3 minutes. And so, just execute this end out of bounds play, and if they don't have a quick shot, pull it back out and try to get, maybe an on-ball screen or something to take it down to that 30-second range.
9 on the clock. Lewis, 6 on the clock now. Shelton got to do something with 2 on the clock. Puts it up, counts if it goes, rims off. And they're going to call a foul against Northern Arizona. I believe they're going to call that one on Brooks to Bishop.
And they do have fouls to give, both teams now with only 3 total, UVU with 3 total team fouls, Northern Arizona with 6, and so they've got to be careful going down this stretch, as one more foul will put the Wolverines in a one-on-one situation.
So the shot clock is off. Game clock now at 19. We'll see what TJ Washington has drawn up from Coach Madsen. Washington going ISO, gets the screen. 8 on the clock. Olajupoki in low. Olajupoki with the teardrop. 2, 1, counts if it goes. Oh, just barely misses. So Utah Valley pulls within 1 at the break. 26-27, Northern Arizona with a 1-point lead. Not as many points as you'd like to see at halftime, and not as many points as Utah Valley fans are used to in the past year, but quick overall assumption for the first half there.
They held Northern Arizona to only 27 points, so it wasn't necessarily a problem on the defensive end. They just couldn't get to any rhythm offensively, and a lot of that stems from TJ Washington as the point guard, as the leader on this team. He went 0 for 3 in that first half, so hopefully he can come back with a little fire and a little momentum coming into the second half.
Utah Valley trails by 1. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back after this here on the WAC Digital Network.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
Smooth sailing.
More traffic.
Great looking day ahead.
More weather.
New details are emerging.
More breaking news. Whenever, wherever.
That's good news.
More ways to know before you go.
You're going to like the morning commute.
On KSL Today. Weekday mornings on KSL 5.
If we can see things for what they are. If we can see what they could be. If the plastic we use, we never throw away. If the end of one thing could be the beginning of the next. If we know that less can create more. If we can return, we reciprocate, we regenerate. If we are here for others, if we can work as a team, all we have to do is connect, and the world opens up. The future is about giving back.
To national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go? Sounds fun.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
Thinking of buying a home? Think bigger. Because with UCCU's low interest rates and low mortgage insurance rates, you could qualify for more house with the same payment you could get from other local lenders. A mortgage with UCCU gives you more purchase power. That means more money you can put into your home or back into your pocket. To learn more, visit uccu.com/morehouse or stop by any UCCU branch today. More house, same payment. Only at UCCU. Inspiring smart mortgage decisions.
What's the difference between buying from Murdoch and buying from somebody else?
In a word, confidence. You'll love our price match guarantee, our 5-day exchange policy,
and don't forget car washes and safety inspections for life. If you need a new vehicle, consider Murdoch Chevrolet. I promise you'll love it.
Who am I? And furthermore, what do I want? What makes you itch? That's the most important investigation anyone can make. But you don't find this out until you investigate it. So I always ask the question, what would you like to do if money were no object? How would you really enjoy spending your life? Because if you say that money is the most important thing, you will spend your life completely wasting your time. Forget the money. After all, if you do really like what you're doing, you can eventually become a master of it. And then you'll be able to get a good fee for whatever it is. Therefore, it's so important to consider this question. What do I desire?
The latest from KSL 5 News, including breaking news as it happens, and all your favorite KSL shows, ready to watch anytime. Download the free KSL app right now on all your favorite devices.
Experienced, Check. Accurate? Check. The team more Utahns trust to stay safe from winter weather surprises? Check, 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 and check. Know before you go. Check with the KSL 5 weather specialists.
What's the difference between buying from Murdoch and buying from somebody else? In a word, confidence. You'll love our price match guarantee, our 5-day exchange policy,
and don't forget car washes and safety inspections for life.
If you need a new vehicle, consider Murdoch Hyundai. I promise you'll love it.
The path to true success is achieved through determination.
With the goal!
Determination to grow, to push through, and to finish. Utah Valley student athletes strive for these qualities. UVU student athletes need your support from the community, their peers, and their families to achieve this growth and success in life.
Has an opportunity laid down, and there it is! I dive into third base.
Support from donors like you makes a significant impact on the lives of more than 370 Wolverines student athletes. The General Athletic Scholarship Fund will help our student athletes be successful in the classroom, on the field, and in life. Please support our student athletes with a personal donation and watch these men and women grow now and in the future.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Orem, Utah, on the campus of Utah Valley University. Brandon Crow with you alongside Holton Hunsaker. Utah Valley taking on the Big Sky foe, Northern Arizona, the Lumberjacks, with a 27-26 lead at the break. A couple minutes before we start the second half here. Holton, we talked a lot about toward the end of the first half, really kind of stagnant and lethargic for really both sides.
Yeah, a real compliment to Northern Arizona is that everything seemed hard offensively for the Wolverines. They went 0 for 7 from the three-point line, only got to the free throw line 4 times, and held T.J. Washington to 0 points in that first half. It just seemed like everything was a challenge. It was difficult. They didn't get out in transition, didn't create many extra possessions, and it's going to be tough to win ball games if it's a struggle on that end of the court.
T.J. Washington with no points so far. He has 4 assists, however. He has 2 steals, so he's getting it done defensively. But that's some offensive production that Utah Valley needs to have here in the second half. Isaiah White coming out the first game that he's played in over a month, and he had 8 points, and he really got things going offensively early on for Utah Valley. Got him started quickly, but then kind of like fizzled out.
I think he just lost his energy himself, right? He hasn't played a ball game in I don't know how many weeks or months, and he just got out of breath. He was playing so hard. He was so excited to get out there, and he did. He brought an energy to the team that they needed through his offensive rebounding, through his drives to the basket. That dunk down that left baseline really lifted the Wolverines, and then once he got gassed, after that point, it kind of switched momentum over to Northern Arizona, and that's when Satterwhite really took over offensively, and you can see how his energy and confidence lifted that Lumberjack ball team.
Again, 27-26 is the Lumberjack lead at the break. You mentioned Satterwhite. Satterwhite leading all scores for Northern Arizona with 7 points. And 7 points coming off 3 of 4 shooting from the floor, 1 of 1 from three-point land. And he has 2 rebounds as well. Nick Maines with 4 points for the Lumberjacks. Cameron Shelton with 2 points. Chris Bowling with 6 points. Ted McCree with 2 points. And Isaiah Lewis with 6 for Utah Valley. Eman Olajupoki with 8 points. Brandon Averett with 2 points. Kazan Jardine with 1. Trey Woodbury with 5. Isaiah White with 8. And Brandon Morley with 2. Utah Valley, statistically, throughout this season so far under the Mark Madsen era, has exploded offensively in the second half. They've had slow starts, but they like the second half.
They're going to need it tonight.
So we'll see what's in store. But game on here in the second half between the Lumberjacks and the Wolverines. Again, the Lumberjacks in their road dark blues with the yellow trim. As Shelton gets it very early. Misses the kiss off the glass. Olajupoki there with the rebound. Utah Valley in their home whites with the green. Led by Brandon Averett cutting through. The key gets fouled on the outside by Bowling.
Nice job there by Brandon of getting out early off of that missed shot and really forcing the issue and trying to get to the rim. And I know the trend right now is to touch the paint and kick it out and look for that three-point shot, but I feel like these guys need to get to the free throw line. They need something easy here early in the second half.
Woodbury to Averett now with 15 on the clock. Averett draws the contact, and the runner gets it to foul going the opposite way. And Brandon Averett, very athletic. 4 points now for BA. To Bishop, McCree. McCree with a little running jumper of his own. Answers right back to Brandon Averett. 28-29. Lumberjacks on top by 1.
He's been watching his Phoenix Suns Steve Nash clips with that little runner at the free throw line.
Olajupoki. 16 on the clock. Gives it to Woodbury. Woodbury, that looked pretty from the right when he released it. That thing looked nice.
Hopefully that takes the lid off for the Wolverines and they can get some to fall from that outside.
31-29, Wolverines on top by 2. Nice bounce pass, reverse layup by McCree. All tied up, 31 apiece. At least this is an entertaining game so far. Very close as T.J. Washington blows by his defenders, trying to make a very strong cross-court pass to Trey Woodbury. This one gets tipped out of play. Last touched off the Lumberjacks. Trey Woodbury with 19 on the clock. E-man to Olajupoki. Avery. Woodbury. Now E-man again. 9 on the clock. Woodbury. 6, 5, stops, pops. Got his defender in the spin cycle, and he finishes. 5 straight points now for Trey Dub.
That's a tough shot there at the free throw line. Little fadeaway, nice move by Trey. And again, you can see his energy and momentum really lifting the Wolverines in the second half.
And again, this is a guy that averages 10 points. And already he's at that average. Another beautiful play there by McCree.
McCree must be a ping pong master with the English off of that spin off of that one. Again, he had that other right-handed on the left-handed side early on in this second half.
Olajupoki doing work. Misses. Rebound by the Lumberjacks. All tied up 33 apiece. McCree, who scored the last 4 points for the Lumberjacks, now gives way on the outside. This one no good. Rebounded by the Wolverines and Kaz and Jardine. Here comes T.J. Washington. Washington goes 1v3. Tipped up. Now to Brandon Averett. Averett drives with the floater. No good off the back iron. Lumberjacks again with it. Shelton now. Shelton to Bishop. Puts it on the floor. Big fella kicks out to McCree. Another corner three-pointer. And this one's good with a swish from Chris Bowling. And a timeout's called on the floor. 36-33. NAU starting to heat up from outside. And we'll take a quick break. We'll step away with them. We'll be right back with more Utah Valley Wolverine basketball on the WAC Digital Network.
In the WAC, we value sportsmanship on the field,
On the track, on the court, in the pool.
and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
The officials.
The fans, and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about keeping everything in perspective.
It's about taking ownership after a loss.
And being humble after a win.
We hope you'll team up with us by staying positive on the sidelines. Because great sportsmanship is what unites us. We are the Western Athletic Conference.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
Ready to go?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com and the NCAA Sports app.
The Greenman gang donning their Santa Claus hats. It is that season. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Utah Valley trailing by 3 to the Lumberjacks. I don't think the Lumberjacks are very festive. They just like to get their work done. They don't care about the holidays, and they're getting their work done on the court so far, especially from three-point land compared to Utah Valley. They're 4 of 10, the Lumberjacks, from distance, compared to Utah Valley's 1 of 8. Holton.
They've also done a good job of taking those turnovers that they've forced on the defensive end and turning those into offense. They've now got 13 points off of the Wolverines, 13 turnovers.
Jardine, now Woodbury to Averett. Coach Madsen for the Wolverines continuing to yell for movement. Washington kicks it out to Cassie Jardine in the corner. This one no good. Big rebound by Trey Woodbury. He misses. Can't get the rebound again. This one falls in favor of the Lumberjacks, and you just got to put those in.
Yeah, it was a heartbreak. Again, given the effort that Trey put out there to get that offensive rebound, again, that effort should continue to be a lift for his team, but almost a backbreaker there, not being able to finish that layup.
Now the Lumberjacks have a chance to make it their largest lead here. Already up by 3. Satterwhite has been the go-to guy. Couldn't get that one to fall. Here comes T.J. Washington. Now the Wolverines looking to respond. Wolverines 0 for 6 in the last 2 minutes. Brandon Averett with 16 on the shot clock. Going to take his time, gather his composure. Drives into the key. Alley-oop lob with the touch pass for Orla Japoki. And E-Man's in double figures with 10 points. (35-36), Wolverines trail by 1. Three-pointer from the top of the arc. This one no good. Here comes Brandon Averett with the rebound. And they're going to call T.J. Washington with the foul. And they are. They're going to call T.J. Washington with the push away from the ball. That's a rally killer.
Yeah, it just hasn't been his night tonight, unfortunately, and hopefully coming out of this timeout, TJ gets settled down and gets something going.
We'll take a break as well. Wolverines trail 35-36. We'll be right back on the WAC Digital Network.
Hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great.
Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people.
Neil Dastrup Insurance, your local independent auto owners insurance agency, supports UVU athletics.
Utah Valley trails Northern Arizona 35-36 with 15 and some change left in regulation. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for letting us be a part of your Saturday evening on the WAC Digital Network, on the KSL streaming app as well. If you're just now joining us, this is the first game back for the Wolverines in action in over a month for Isaiah White. And right now he has 8 points, and his teammates Trey Woodbury and Eman Olajiboki with 10, leading the offense for the Wolverines. Right before that timeout, Utah Valley had the ball, but committed a foul in transition offensively, gave it right back to the Lumberjacks. McCree goes right by Averett, stops, pops, comes up short, might have been blocked by Averett. Here comes Trey Woodbury. Woodbury going 1v1, attacks the rim, and a foul is called. And Woodbury go to the line to shoot two.
Nice job by Trey of not settling for that outside shot there in transition. Forced the issue, made the official make a foul call there. And again, he's had a great second half. Made a three-point shot to get things going. Nice little fade away from the free throw line. And again, hopefully these two free throws can keep him going.
Trey Woodbury successful on the first time. Didn't make it the second time. Still double figures with 11. 4 of 7 from the floor for Woodbury. 1 of 2 from three-point land, and 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. Say last touched off of Trey Woodbury. So all tied up at 36 apiece. 18 on the shot clock after the inbound for the Lumberjacks. NAU has not scored in the last 2 minutes after McCree had 2 quick back-to-back jumpers. Haven't scored since. McCree with the give and go to the big fella. Fouled in the act was Brooks DeBishop. And that's going to go against Brandon Averett. And that'll be his 3rd personal foul. Coach Madsen just giving him a friendly reminder that he's got 3. And there's McCree right on cue from the corner. McCree, who can just elevate and hang in the air and let that thing fly.
Yeah, it's a great way of phrasing it there. As we can see down that corner sideline, it seemed like he just floated, as you mentioned, and a beautiful release on his follow-through.
Lumberjacks on top. 39-36. Isaiah White drives. Kisses off the rim. Here come the Lumberjacks. Shelton pulls back with the three-point lead. Tries to go around Washington. Had to alter his shot because of Olajupoki, but it gets poked in anyway. 41-36. And Utah Valley trying to break a drought, 1 of 8. And an offensive foul against TJ Washington. And that's his second personal foul. And Ege Habza will come in to try and give TJ a break here.
Yeah, it just really hasn't been TJ's night. TJ now with 6 turnovers on the game and 0 points to show for it. And again, this Wolverines really go as TJ goes, and hopefully this break can settle him down, get his mind right going in the last 10 minutes as Brooks, another nice little shot around the rim, this time with that offhand jump hook.
Largest lead so far for the Lumberjacks, 43-36. Olajupoki with the hand on it, ball bouncing out of bounds, last touch off of Olajupoki. And these are crucial moments in games, especially for this Utah Valley squad, where they need an offensive bucket here, because if they don't, it could get a little dicey.
And that's the thing, who can give it to him? Brandon Averett has such great speed. Isaiah White can get to the rim. Trey Woodbury can shoot from the outside, and so these guys just need to take confidence within themselves, their own abilities, as this one has the potential to go to a 10-point lead.
Shelton pulls up, no good, and they're going to call an offensive foul. And the referees are trying to explain it to Brooks to Bishop. They're going to call a push and a shove from behind on the big fella. The senior, 6'9", 245. A very lean 245 from Westland, Oregon. And some fans just reminding him that he can't do that.
That was always appreciated, you know.
Trey Woodbury inbounds to Brandon Averett. Utah Valley trying to climb back down 36-43. About 12:50 left to play in regulation. Woodbury creates his own space. Fouls called in the process. And they're going to call that one on Isaiah Lewis. His first personal foul before the shot. Averett inbounds to the big fella, Brandon Morley. Woodbury to Averett. Averett on. He's going to hesitate, drive, do a little reverse layup, and get it to go. 38-43. Lewis. Now McCree.
McCree with a long three-point attempt.
Rebounded by Utah Valley. Nice give and go back to Isaiah White. He draws the contact. And when Isaiah White puts his head down, there's no stopping him when he gets in the paint, unless you got to hack him like that. So that foul is going to go against McCree. And that's his second personal foul. And Isaiah White will go to the free throw line. Isaiah White makes the first free throw. This is a kid that he just loves to play the game of basketball, and he feels like he just hasn't been able to for lots of reasons. He had to come to Utah Valley after transferring. Then had some injuries last year. They kept him out of play. Had some more injuries this year. And when he's on the court, he's
a difference maker.
He is a huge difference maker.
And he's played with that energy like he appreciates being on the court tonight.
McCree creates his own spice. Rimmed off. Isaiah White with the rebound. Here comes Ege Habza. Ege Habza looking for some outlets. Gives to Trey Woodbury. Woodbury puts it on the floor. Draws the contact. No good. Morley had a hand in it. Instead, here comes Lewis. And a whistle's called. Double dribble. I didn't know that they still had that in the rule book.
I didn't see it. Coach Madsen was right in front of me as that went there. But as you said, a rare call of the double dribble.
Utah Valley basketball, when we return, they trail by 3. We'll be right back in Orem, Utah on the WAC Digital Network.
About the car shopping experience at Murdoch Hyundai that has everyone talking. Maybe it's the safety inspections or the car washes for life. It could be the price match guarantee, or maybe it's just the way you're treated. Come fall in love in Linden, Logan, and Murray at Murdoch Hyundai. Your no regrets dealer.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University, home of the Wolverines. The Wolverines trailing the visiting Lumberjacks from Northern Arizona from the Big Sky, 40-43. Less than 12 minutes to play here in regulation. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for joining us here on the WAC Digital Network, on the KSL streaming app as well. Big shout out to all those who are watching from far away. Just got word one of our former employees, Matt Mansfield. Shout out to you watching from A-Town in hot Atlanta. Working for Turner Sports. Good for you, Matt. Right now the Wolverines trying to put things together offensively. They got a well-balanced breakfast on the offensive side for Northern Arizona. Almost every single person that's been on the court has scored some points for the Lumberjacks. In Utah Valley right now having 3 players in double figures. Isaiah White and Ola Japoki with 10, and Trey Woodbury with 11. And this one poked from behind, last touched off of the big man to Bishop, but then the referees are coming from court to court, and they're going to overrule it, saying last touched off of Isaiah White from behind.
I think was the right call there, but again, it's just Isaiah White seemed to be everywhere, hustle plays wise and energy plays for these Wolverines, and really has led them on the rebounding end as well. Right now the Wolverines out rebounding Northern Arizona by 10, 31-21.
Nice bounce pass rejected by Woodbury. That's his second block. Here comes Brandon Averett. Isaiah White on the floor, drives, creates the contact. Are they going to say he was in the act? And he is. I paused for dramatic effect. So Isaiah White, again, going back to the free throw line. So far, 4 of 4 from the Charity Stripe. Make it 4 of 5.
There hasn't been a whole lot of free throws shot in this game. That's only the 10th free throw by the Wolverines, and for Northern Arizona, they've only shot 2.
Against the last home game against Weber State, both teams didn't shoot a free throw until 3 minutes left in the game.
Wow. See, I don't know if that's good basketball, bad basketball, being unaggressive, or just a change in the game as everything seems to be moving to the perimeter.
Andre sees a crease, drives, misses. Rebounded by Woodbury in Utah Valley. Now here comes Ege Havza in transition. Again, Wolverines trailing by 2. Havza no-look pass to Brandon Averett for 3. That one rims off. Isaiah White coming in to get the rebound. Isaiah White driving again, misses, puts it back up, gets fouled again, flexes for his bench. Isaiah White not giving up, trying to energize his teammates here. 10:53 left to play in regulation. He'll go back to the free throw line to shoot 2. Has a chance to tie this ball game back up. This game so far has been tied 8 times and has 12 lead changes. And Isaiah White makes the first free throw. Shelton Satterwhite coming in for Bowling and Lewis. And Isaiah White makes both. So we are tied up 43 apiece. Less than 11 to play in the UCCU Center in Orem, Utah. To Bishop. Shelton finds a lane, drives, comes up short, and they're going to call a foul on Kazan Jardine. Got him with the body. Northern Arizona, no field goals in the last 3 minutes. They've been 0 for 6. And Utah Valley's been on a 7-0 run in that time. But Shelton trying to get some confidence offensively from the free throw line for his squad as he makes. Isaiah White will come out to claps and enthusiasm from the hometown crowd. Ege Havza gets the rebound. J.J. Overton now in the game for the Wolverines. 10:35 left to play. 43-44. Wolverines trail by 1. Kazan Jardine steps into a 3. That one rims out again.
Poor Kazan can't buy one tonight. That's the second one that he's had that's went halfway down and then came right back out as Shelton quick down the other end and a nice little layup going to his right-hand side. And again, Wolverines just can't buy a basket from that three-point line. 1 of 10 now for the game.
Hamza thought about it, put it on the floor. And it gets a shooter's touch. His first points on the evening for Ege Havza. 45-46, Wolverines still trail by 1. DeBishop gets the screen, drives, and 1. Gets the contact. Kazan Jardine, the guilty party. That'll be his second personal foul.
Actually, a really nice play there drawn up by Northern Arizona's. Brooks got that catch right around the free throw line, and then the smaller point guard actually came and set the ball screen, and that's tough to defend as it's hard to make a switch onto such a big guy there for Brandon Averett, especially with his momentum going to the rim.
And DeBishop fundamentally sound. That was just textbook, picture-perfect free throw right there to finish the three-point play. 49-45, the lead for the Lumberjacks. J.J. Overton down low. Kazan Jardine splits 2 defenders, gets fouled, and will go to the free throw line to shoot. And Andre Disbelief in the post.
Nice patience there by Kazdan around the rim. I thought he possibly should have shot that one from the three-point line straight on, but that's what missing does to you sometimes. He's missed 2 in a row, and probably smart of him to get himself to the free throw line, see that ball go through the net. Hopefully that lifts his confidence, and we see him knock a few threes down going to the last 10 minutes here of the game.
Kazan Jardine makes the first and the second. So now 3 points for the Cavs, man. 47-49. Wolverines trail the Lumberjacks by 2. E-Man and Ege Havza creating some havoc so far on the defensive side. 16 on the shot clock now for the Lumberjacks. DeBishop looking very awkward with that ball on the top of the key like that. McCree with 6 on the clock, drives. Rimmed off. E-Man Olajupoki with the rebound for the Wolverines. Ege Havza. Kazan Jardine. Averett now with 18 on the clock. Averett gets by some contact. Goes to Olajupoki. Olajupoki puts it up, gets fouled in the process, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. And they're going to call this one on Bowling. Olajupoki with 10 points, 5 of 8 from the floor. His first trips to the free throw line right here. E-Man quickly becoming a crowd favorite. He makes the first free throw, averaging 5 points and 5 rebounds and 3 block shots. The Texan, one of a handful of Texans on the team. And a Texan who favors ribs over brisket. He misses that one off the back iron. 48-49, Wolverines trailing by 1. 8:30 left to play in regulation.
Did that little piece of trivia come from your floor walks? I saw a couple of those videos that you did. I thought they were terrifically done. A lot of fun to learn about the guys. Is E-Man with a big block.
E-Man saw that basketball with some brisket. He said, you know what? Give me some ribs. I don't want any of that. Yeah, those full court presses are pretty fun. So big time block there from Ola Japoki. TJ Washington going to come in at the next opportune moment for the Wolverines. 7 on the clock for the Lumberjacks. To Bishop, got to do something with it. 4-3, big fella stripped from behind. McCree can't get it up. And a shot clock violation. It's TJ Washington. He's going to come in for Ege Habza. That got everybody up on the Utah Valley bench. Something that they've been trying to pride themselves in on the defensive side. Nevertheless, Utah Valley still trails by 1. 8 minutes to play in regulation. Here comes Isaiah White with the head full of steam. No blood, no foul. And melee in the key. Lumberjacks come away with it.
There's your blood right there. I think a contact or a tooth. Something in his hand as Brooks needs just a quick. I don't know.
Well, we'll take a break and we'll try and discuss it and see what we can find out here.
He's going for his tooth, so maybe.
Utah Valley trails 48-49. We'll be right back after this here on the WAC Digital Network.
UCCU is both a credit union and a full-service mortgage company.
Which means that UCCU always provides the lowest rates and lower insurance premiums than other lenders.
When your mortgage rate and insurance premium are lower, your monthly payment is also lower.
It's just science.
That's more money you can put into your home.
Or back into your pocket.
So if you're thinking about buying or refinancing a home, talk to us.
The credit union that's been putting people over profits for over 60 years.
It's what I do.
It's what I do.
It's what we do.
What's the difference between buying from Murdoch and buying from somebody else?
In a word, confidence. You'll love our price match guarantee, our 5-day exchange policy,
and don't forget car washes and safety inspections for life. If you need a new vehicle, consider Murdoch Chevrolet. I promise you'll love it.
.48-49, Wolverines trail the Lumberjacks of Northern Arizona by 1. Less than 8 to play in regulation. It's been a seesaw battle. So far, 12 lead changes. The game's been tied 9 times. Fairly evenly matched contest here, Holt, between the Lumberjacks and the Wolverines. What are the trends that you've been noticing here as far as stats go?
Just offensively, I guess, just the different styles of what the strategies are from these two coaches. Wolverines really attacking the rim in this second half. They only had 4 free throws at halftime. Now they've shot 17 to the game, and Northern Arizona only with 5, but Northern Arizona being able to take care of their shots from the three-point line as they've been able to convert on 5 to just the Wolverines 1.
You can see the intensity defensively really picking up here for the Wolverines. TJ Washington going against Shelton. Very close to a travel call, but Shelton was able to muscle that one in.
Wow.
51-48, Wolverines trail. Trey Woodbury at the scorer's table. Here comes TJ Washington. Now Averett with 20 on the clock for the Wolverines. Back to Washington, who thought about it. Puts it on the floor, kick out to Isaiah White. Kazan Jardine has got to find the bottom, and it does! Finally, he looks up to the heavens and says, thank you. He's 1 of 6 from distance, and that couldn't have come at a more important time for the Wolverines.
Huge shot there by Kazan, and one that should widen the eyes of the entire Wolverines as they can see that those actually do go in from out there as Shelton.
Woo! Shelton denied by TJ Washington. Washington got up there very quick. Let's see if Shelton remembers that and puts the pump fake on him next time. Big man got to go down low, and he gets bailed out with the foul.
Tough with only 2 seconds there on the shot clock, and that one's going to be the 4th foul call on, I believe they got
Brandon Averett
on that one, and probably a change there for Coach Madsen is now you got to balance time and score and when to keep Brandon Averett on the floor.
Andre makes the free throw. That's his first points of the game. The junior from North Miami Beach, Florida, coming to NAU via Wallace State. And he makes both. Back to a 2-point lead for the Lumberjacks. TJ Washington flying up the court, gives back to Kazan Jardine. He is feeling it. Splash down for Kazman. Back-to-back trays.
And that might be the first lead for the Wolverines in this second half, as that 3-point shot gives the Wolverines a 1-point lead now with just 6 minutes remaining.
6 minutes exactly. 6 straight points for Kazan Jardine. Now 9 on the clock. Tough shot missed. Big rebound there by Isaiah White and the Wolverines. White surveys the court, looking for some help. Gives way to Kazan Jardine, thought about it. Puts it on the floor, drives, and one! Count it for Kazman. Kazan Jardine going to the line to complete the 3-point play. An opportunity for 9 straight points. That's how they do it in Idaho.
And that rebound on the other end, I believe, gives Isaiah White a double-double for the game. 13 points, 10 rebounds, and Kazan Jardine taking care of it on the other end.
Let's go Utah Valley!
It's going to be 10 on this next one. 9 rebounds officially for Isaiah White.
Utah Valley 6-0 run in the last 40 seconds. Trey Woodbury gets clipped from behind. Maine steps into a 3, and he silences the crowd. Big bucket there for the Lumberjacks. 57-56. Washington, no look pass. Here comes Shelton on the other end. Shelton old school with the layup. 58-57. Good defense there by the Lumberjacks. Washington trying to respond. Gives it away to Olajupoki, who loses it. Here come the Lumberjacks. Here's McCree. Maines, who just hit a 3. Shelton drives, dishes, and we'll see. Most likely that'll be called on TJ Washington.
And I just don't know where TJ is tonight. He seems frustrated with something. He's not himself. I believe with that pass to E-Man, that's his 8th turnover tonight.
The Bishop taking his time, and he misses. Too strong off the back iron.
All right, fans. Who wants Culvers?
This is that lucky time in the second half where if somebody misses 2 straight free throws, the fans get free custard. And DeBishop playing the Grinch gives Cole in the stockings of the fans here. No Culvers for you. Averett finds the crease. Kicks out to Isaiah White, who steps into a 3, and he makes it. With the man in his face, he says, I don't need that. 60-59, Wolverines retake the lead. And McCree steps back.
Wow.
Woo! And what an answer from McCree. Straight filthy. 61-60 with 4:10 left to play. We got ourselves a contest here, folks. Isaiah White. Woodbury now with it. Woodbury, spin cycle again. And they're going to call a foul on Northern Arizona, Nick Maines. And that'll take us to immediate timeout. Utah Valley trails 61-60, but it's Wolverine basketball when we return on the WAC Digital Network and the KSL streaming app.
You only need to answer one question. Will you accept the challenge to become? No matter where you are in life, no matter your interests, from award-winning accounting to marketing and entrepreneurship programs, there's a place for you at Utah Valley University. A place to engage, to rise, to succeed, to become.
How does Costa Vida create the ultimate sweet pork burrito? We start by following our award-winning recipe, one that calls for everything to be made fresh, from scratch every day. Like our beautifully braised pork, seasoned beans, savory sauces, and delicious cilantro lime rice. Even our tortillas are cooked to order. It's a difference you can taste. Treat yourself to the ultimate sweet pork burrito, only at Costa Vida.
Coming out of this media timeout, the Wolverines trail 60-61 with less than 4 minutes to play here in regulation. And Utah Valley has the basketball. Mark Madsen drawing up a play for his squad to try and retake the lead. Again, that will be the 17th lead change, as we have been tied up 10 times already.
I need to apologize to Trey Woodbury because I was calling Isaiah White out for an early double-double, which still only 9 rebounds, but Trey Woodbury with 10 rebounds of his own and 11 points.
Trey Woodbury, a big fan of double-doubles, and he said that it's very difficult for him. That was his most difficult part of transitioning here to Utah. He said everything closes too early. He said he was hungry one night, and the only thing left open was In-N-Out. So he's been giving himself a steady diet of double-doubles, and it's paid off for him on the hardwood tonight. Less than 4 to play. Ola Japoki goes 50% on that last trip to the free throw line.
Trey needs to get himself to bed a little earlier, it sounds like.
Shelton on the other end misses and flies right into Woodbury. And it'll be Utah Valley basketball. Shelton trying to plead his case. Well, the officials say nope. Utah Valley has made the last 4 of the last 5, Holton. All tied up 61 apiece. Brandon Averett got to be careful playing with 4 fouls. Cass and Jardine, Isaiah White. This one poked away. Lumberjacks have it. McCree, Shelton. And an easy layup in the paint for the Lumberjacks.
Bowling, there's a nice little head fake by him in transition. Let Isaiah White pass, and NAU up 63-61.
Brandon Averett trying to find Ola Japoki for the alley-oop. And Ola Japoki will go back to the free throw line. And DeBishop has 4 fouls as well. So Ola Japoki at the line. Utah Valley trailing by 2. And Isaiah White will go back to the bench, take a breather as TJ Washington checks back in. Washington with 3 fouls. Averett with 4. And Ola Japoki misses both. And Cassie Jardine gets pulled down, trying to box out in the post. Nick Maines the guilty party there.
Cassie Jardine, his last 4 minutes, he's really been the answer for the Wolverines. A couple 3-point shots, the 3-point play the old-fashioned way, and now
broken their huddle. And now that they're going to form another huddle. So they were at one point on the bench using their spinning wheel, trying to go through the footage and see what they saw.
Well,
lulls like this, I mean,
especially with the last 3 minutes of the game, 63-61, the game, what's kind of been not necessarily a dry game up until this point, hadn't had much back and forth, and it is kind of tough going into this lull of looking at something that appears that nothing's going to come out of it.
Well, 2 free throws nonetheless for Utah Valley and Kazan Jardine. He has an opportunity to tack on 2 more and tie this ball game up. So the officials say that they didn't find anything malicious in the footage, and Kazan Jardine misses the free throw. And the Wolverines now 15 of 23 from the charity stripe tonight. And Kazan Jardine misses both. So a crucial moment there for the Wolverines to tie this game back up. Now they got to play defense on the other side with 3 minutes left to play in regulation, down by 2. Shelton and the Lumberjacks taking their time. McCree. DeBishop.
And back to the play. That was a nice play again. They hit the Wolverines early on in the second half with that same catch at the elbow for DeBishop, and then Shelton comes and sets the ball screen on the big. Tough to defend, and DeBishop, nice little touch off the glass.
Slow, methodical, moving Bishop gets it to fall nonetheless. Kazan Jardine with the turnaround fadeaway. Says, you know what, I missed the 2 free throws, my bad. I'll just make a nice turnaround fadeaway on the other side.
And smart by him of attacking DeBishop. DeBishop with 4 fouls right now. Just had to let Jardine do what he wanted offensively. And now Northern Arizona just going to milk this clock away and try to get something late possession.
63-65, Wolverines trail by 2. 6 on the shot clock, now 5. 4 for Shelton. They left him wide open, and he sinks it.
Wide open inside the free throw line. That's tough. And just miscommunication between TJ and Jardine there should have just switched and stayed with him late in the possession.
Trey Woodbury driving, gets blocked. Good no call. Now with the $1:36 left to play in regulation, Wolverines trailing by 4. Lumberjacks have the ball. And you know the Wolverines don't want to foul, but you know that Shelton's just going to keep doing what he's doing. As Maine steps into a 3, and that very well could be the dagger for the Wolverines. 3-pointer for Maine's in the corner. 7-point lead for the Lumberjacks with 78 seconds left in regulation.
Tough, but again, they just let Northern Arizona kind of dictate the pace and play the style they wanted to play this entire ball game, and Wolverines just out of energy, quite frankly. And Isaiah White is off the court in this ball game. There just hasn't been a whole lot of energy by their team in the last 3 minutes, maybe to avoid energy or whatever it may be. Coach Matson's got away from Isaiah White. We'll see if we can get some type of maybe pick and pop on this end with Jardine, who's been hot from the 3-point line, and got Trey Woodbury, maybe something coming out of the corner for him.
All right, let's go Utah Valley.
Either way, they gotta get a quick bucket, and they gotta get a stop back to back. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. We've seen some points be scored in a quick amount of time, but
bad decision
those
there
moments
by
will help.
DeBishop there. That's going to send TJ Washington to the free throw line. It's also going to foul him out.
So Washington just trying to cut across the top of the key. Runs into DeBishop. And DeBishop's night is officially done. Big fella, 10 points, 4 of 8 from the floor, and 2 of 3 from the free throw line with 11 rebounds. So DeBishop with the double-double as well. Lewis comes in. Bowling, Lewis, Maines, Shelton, and McCree, your 5 on the floor. And TJ Washington makes the free throw for the Wolverines. And Isaiah White checks back in. So Washington, free throw number 2 on its way, and it's good. So down by 5. $1:15 left. Utah Valley trying not to foul here. Lumberjacks wide open. 1:05 left to play. Lewis. Now Woodbury comes on him. Lewis with the head fake drives around, and finally a foul is called. And they're going to call that one on Trey Woodbury. So Brandon Averett with 4 fouls, TJ Washington with 3, Jardine and Woodbury both with 2 apiece, and Isaiah White with 0. That's your foul situation right now for the Wolverines with a minute left. And Lewis makes the first free throw. And Lewis makes both. 65-72, TJ Washington. Isaiah White drawing some space. Jardine steps into a 3, and he makes it. So giving a little bit of life here for Utah Valley. 68-72. And Isaiah White forced a foul. Northern Arizona wanting an intentional foul call against Isaiah White.
Just tough. Anything around that neck area, they might go to the benches to take a look at this. Which, again, hopefully nothing comes out of it for the Wolverines. It may give Coach Madsen a free timeout here as only has 1 remaining, but could potentially be an intentional foul call if they see anything around that neck and head area, which did appear kind of be that way.
From our vantage point, it was kind of tough just to see if it was. I thought it was maybe like in the chest. But either way, that big 3-pointer from Kaz and Jardine has Utah Valley trailing by 4. And the foul, nonetheless, will put the Lumberjacks at the free throw line.
The intentional foul may be on the haircut, though. What Isaiah White's got going on out there tonight. I'm just not with the times, that's for sure. As the officials a little quicker this time coming out of the huddle. I think they are going to go with a common foul here. I mean, it's tough. Like, if they make this an intentional foul call, that's almost the ball game, right? I mean, they give them 2 free throws and another possession, an opportunity at it. Hopefully the officials don't go that direction and allow them to dictate the end of this game. I don't imagine they will, but they're trying to point it out, and maybe they just will. They are going to call a flagrant 1. That's going to be tough. I mean, that's going to go to. That's going to extend this possession now for Northern Arizona. Going to give them initial 2 free throws. Yeah, the official came over and said he made no attempt to go after the ball and just grabbed him. And tough call there to go against Isaiah White as Shelton misses that first free throw because Isaiah White played so hard and gave such a great effort to these Wolverines tonight.
Shelton misses the first, but he makes the second. 68-73. And out of bounds for the Lumberjacks. A.K. Havza checking in for Brandon Averett. Shelton pressing against Washington. And Bodies collide. And a timeout barely in the nick of time for the Lumberjacks. And they have plenty. Now they have 2. They had 3. Utah Valley has 1. 45.5 seconds left. 68-73 Wolverines trail.
Good defensive effort there on that sideline out of bounds by the Wolverines. Northern Arizona, really no option, no outlet. Especially with the Bishop out of the game, they don't have the luxury of just having a big guy to just throw it up over top of anybody. And especially after you get one near 5-second count, whoever's taking that ball out of bounds, you get a little bit more anxious, a little bit more nervous, and maybe that can lead him to making a bad decision coming out of this timeout.
So see what defensive strategy Coach Madsen and his crew draw up here.
Wolverine defense.
Lumberjacks still have 2 timeouts. Quickly into Lewis. Clock continuing to tick away. And finally a foul called against Trey Woodbury.
And guys a little bit nervous to make the foul as well because of the intentional foul call that was just called. It's tough to go after the ball and try to just stop the clock here now with just 40 seconds and a 5, potentially 7-point lead here for Northern Arizona.
Bowling makes a free throw. 12 points on the evening for Bowling so far. 4 of 7 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. And make that a 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. So.
And that one a big
13.
one, making it a 3-possession game. Now it's not just 2 quick threes. Is trying to clear something for TJ Washington who gets blocked. And with 30 seconds left, that should about do it.
Very well could do it for the Wolverines. Coach Madsen going to call a timeout. We'll take the timeout with him. So 30 seconds left on the floor. Utah Valley trails. We'll be right back from Warm Utah after this.
Looking to spend that birthday money, Tyler? I'm just not sure which one to get. Well, they are both pretty cool. But saving some of that money would be pretty cool, too. Yep.
When's the right age to teach your children how to save and spend money wisely? Right now, with the Be Money Smart program only at Utah Community Credit Union. Inspiring smart decisions.
Welcome back to the UCCU Center on the campus of Utah Valley University. Brandon Crow alongside Holton Hunsaker. Thank you for joining us here on the WAC Digital Network tonight and the KSL TV streaming app as well. Utah Valley trails with 30 seconds left at home to Northern Arizona, 68-75. A handful of Lumberjacks in double figures tonight. Shelton with 12, Bowling and McCree with 13 apiece, Lewis with 8, Satterwhite with 7. Isaiah White and Cassie Jardine leading all Utah Valley scorers with 16 and 17 apiece respectively. Woodbury there with 11. TJ Washington and Brandon Averett chipping in with 2 and 6 apiece. Bowling at the line, continuing to shoot. NAU has made the last 4 straight field goals. And the referees are still having a look at the clock, trying to see if they can have the exact time that the foul occurred. Put it back. And taking a look back at this, if you are Utah Valley, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow.
It is going to be tough, but they got to find somewhere to get life into their team, right? I mean, someone needs to step up as a leader. I think getting Isaiah White back fills that gap or fills that hole. But as we mentioned, it's tough playing so many games on the road, especially when you're trying to build a new program and a new system with guys that haven't played together, and you have to deal with a lot of diversity. This one going to be probably, again, nothing's over until it's over, but potentially the 5th straight loss for the Wolverines, and it is hard to go through a season with 5 straight losses. And we actually did it our senior season when we won the WAC. We had a 5-game road stretch which consisted of an Oklahoma State, a Washington State, and a Dakota team. A lot of travel, 5 losses on the road. And you either learn from it and be humbled by it and get back to what you need to do to work and get better as a team, or it can steer your season the other direction.
So Bowling makes 2 free throws and extends that lead to 77-68 for the Lumberjacks. TJ Washington, Brandon Averett, now Trey Woodbury. Woodbury finds the bottom of the net, 71-77. Satterwhite gets fouled by Kazan Jardine. That'll be Jardine's 3rd personal foul. And Satterwhite really was the catalyst that helped get this offensive system going for NAU.
Big in that first half. To close out the first half, he got hot a little bit from outside shooting and gave this NAU ball club a little confidence coming into it.
Again, Satterwhite coming back home. An Arizona kid growing up, coming back home to play from his family. And referee calls timeout.
I don't think anybody touched the ball and the clock started, so.
The officials will take a look at this. And clock is set at 19.9 seconds. 71-78. The Wolverines trail with less than 20 left to play in regulation. TJ Washington loses the ball out of play. And that about does it for the Wolverines at home here tonight. And some disappointed looks on the faces of Utah Valley. But like you said, Holden, it's not the end of the world. This is an opportunity for them to learn and to grow. And now that they have Isaiah White back, that adds a new dynamic, and that's something positive for this team to look at, to lean on going forward.
Hey, you can just look down the bench. I mean, it's a lot of long faces, and again, rightfully so, right? It's tough to lose games, and especially for this stretch and knowing you got to go back out on the road, but I think they'll learn from it and hopefully go into the conference play knowing, hey, we've been through the tough part. It's not going to get any worse than this.
And the conference right now is it's a big toss-up in and of itself. New Mexico State being plagued with injuries. Chicago State looking pretty decent. Grand Canyon doing whatever Grand Canyon has been doing. There's 5 teams, all tied up at 4 and 7 apiece. As Brandon Averett tacks on 2 more. So the Wolverines will try and forget this one. And they're gonna, if this was a this was a piece of paper at the end of terms, crumple it up, throw it over your shoulder, and just walk out the classroom.
Start the next class, exactly.
So the final score here from Orem, Utah, Northern Arizona 79, Utah Valley 73. Final thoughts, Holton?
Guards win basketball games, right? As much as anything, we were so impressed by Isaiah White tonight and the effort he gives, but your guard, the lead to your team, and between TJ Washington and Brandon Averett, those two need to continue to step up and lead this group, and hopefully they can get through this tough time and transition out of it and move forward together.
Again, your final scores, 79-73 Northern Arizona on top. For all of our hardworking staff and crew behind the scenes, for our courtside producer, director, and cameraman, Ben Schroeder. For Holton Hunsaker, I'm Brandon Crowe saying so long and good night from Orem, Utah. We'll see you next time, December 28th, here on the WAC Digital Network.